do some mic and camera brushing and catch you up on where I've been. It's not been the most exciting, but it's something to ramble about. So a few weeks ago, right after I made my last video, I went on a trip with my girlfriend and some of her friends, who are my friends too, but I know them through my girlfriend. They're my girlfriend's close friends. And we went to Park City, Utah, which might sound like a bit of a funny place for like a girls' trip. But it happened because one of the women has a brother who he lives in New York. He operates out of New York City, but that's where they're all from. But he owns a condo rental company in a bunch of ski towns in the southwest that he rents out to very wealthy people that probably would not want to talk to me, and he rents it out for a price that I can never afford, but he said that he would give it to his sister for the weekend to have a nice weekend with her friends, skiing and just having fun. So we flew out to Salt Lake City and met everyone there and took a little shuttle from the airport to Park City, which is where we stayed. And my girlfriend and I got our own room with a king size bed and our own ensuite with a huge with all the kitted out with everything. It was really posh. And we were right at the top of the mountain, or I suppose top of the ski lodges, so you could ski right out the front door. My girlfriend doesn't like skiing, but I do. So it was a bit of a dream come true to me. For me, I'm a bit of a janky skier in that I really love it, but I grew up skiing basically where we could stay with people. So, because skiing's expensive. So, we would go places like Finland, which is not known for its skiing, because they do not have any mountains. Because we could stay with my aunt and uncle, obviously. If you've watched my other videos, you know that my family lives in Finland. So this was a dream come true to me, to be on such a huge mountain, one of the biggest parks in the southwest, right at the top of where you were able to stay and able to just ski right out your front door onto the gondola. So this was very exciting for me. My girlfriend stayed back with her other friend and had a great time drinking in the hot tub. Like I said, this was a posh fucking place. I felt very lucky to be able to stay there. Couldn't really believe it, but me and the friend whose brother owned the condo and her husband, so my friends, we went skiing and snowboarding together for 2 days. And it was really fun because the woman whose brother owns it is an insanely good skier, like better than most people I would ever get to meet. She actually went to boarding school instead of high school. She went to a skiing boarding school. So she's pretty hardcore, and she gave me some very good pointers in a very uncondescending way. So that was cool for me also quite short. I'm 5'2/5'3", so powder is quite difficult for me to ski. But I had a great time. And then the second day we got amazing conditions, like lots of snow, but it snowed all night, so it wasn't actively snowing. So it was beautiful, bright blue skies, so you need your sun lotion. You do pretty much every day in the southwest because the elevation is much higher than everywhere else, so the UV is much higher. But yeah, plenty of snow. A lot of fucking people though, because it was a Saturday, but that's okay. And yeah, it was a lovely time. For me, one of the best parts of the trip outside the skiing, obviously, was spending time with people. And seeing my girlfriend so happy. She really needed some time with her friends. We've been going through a lot lately, and she really needed that time with her friends to kind of be herself. And not that she can't be with herself with me, but our living situation is that we live with our parents. Like we're 50-50 within my parents and hers. They live pretty close to each other in Chicago and Milwaukee, so it's just been, that's hard, going from living together in our own place to staying with our parents. So it was really good to have some time with other people our age and to kind of be ourselves a bit more than you can be with your family. Especially like when they're kindly letting you live with them, you are a bit on best behaviour. So that was really nice. But for me, the part that I secretly really enjoyed, actually not secretly at all, I was pretty vocal about this, which wasn't that cool of me, but I couldn't help it, I was so excited. One of the things that I'm obsessed with, and have been for over a decade, probably about 14 years, maybe 13, is Mormonism. So I'm an atheist. I suppose agnostic atheist if you want to get technical. I don't think you can prove or disprove the existence of God. But I'm personally inclined to think that there is no God. I'm open to a lot of possibilities. I just don't think anybody knows. Anybody on earth really knows. Like, I think that we all just have our best guesses and our best way of getting through life. But my obsession is Mormonism. It has been since I was like 13 or 14. I think that Mormonism is the epitome of American exceptionalism turned into a religion. It's also very capitalistic, which is fascinating, but it kind of plays into the sort of American exceptionalism doctrine that America is actually the promised land. I think that's fascinating. I don't agree with American exceptionalism. I think that this is a settler colony, and yeah. Anyway, just so you know where I'm at on that. I don't agree with Manifest Destiny, but the Mormons sure did. And I'm very interested in their religion and their culture from a sort of morbid perspective. I'm also interested in how nice they are. They're all really nice. At least that was my experience prior to going to Park City, because man, it was a anthropological delight going there. So Park City is not like Salt Lake City or Provo or the other big Mormon cities in Utah. Park City is for people who are extremely wealthy. It's a ski town, but a lot of people do live there year round, and a lot of people go there all year round even if they live nearby. It's not that far from Salt Lake City. And so the people there are extremely outside of killing animals for fashion, there's nothing that disagreeable about that. I think you can spend your money how you want, but there really was an air of kind of everybody judging each other, and even just to like go to the store, everybody's like dressing their best and kind of trying to kind of outdo each other, and like you walk into a room and everybody immediately turns their head and kind of, it's like they're looking out for the next competition or something, to see if you're a threat or something. It's just very interesting going downtown there and kind of seeing all these people who are much younger than me. I'm 28, and there are all these people in their early 20s who have wedding rings on, and they're all hanging out together, and it was very interesting seeing people who seemed quite young and naive and very, not in a bad way, but people who seem very sort of young and playful, do quite grown-up things, and like, they look really young, but they're all married, and it was just very, very interesting. I've never been around people that wealthy, but I think it was very interesting being around specifically Mormon people or Latter-day Saints, I think people prefer to be called, but it is what it is. It's not real anyway. But yeah, it was a great experience. People were very nice. I did feel a bit judged in some areas, but that was the minority. It was a real exercise in not being judgmental, I think, of people who are very extravagantly wealthy. I think, I come from quite a working class background, sort of upper working class, lower middle class, like, well, that's quite complicated in the UK, but, I grew up poor, basically, with not very much, which is a bit of a point of pride, but also makes me quite protective of myself around people who might hold sort of prejudiced beliefs about people who grew up with less than them, because I have been treated poorly by people, mainly in the UK, who can tell my accent, who can tell from my accent that I did not grow up having a lot, but I find myself being quite guarded around extremely wealthy people. So I think it was an exercise in trying to keep an open mind and not be judgmental, and I think also have a lot of like internal compassion for a lot of the women there, because even though they're dressed probably in just like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of finery, if they truly are Latter-day Saints, which I'm pretty sure most of them were, they don't have a lot of autonomy and control over their lives, and exist in a very high demand religion in a quite subservient role. And it happens that, like, in those circumstances, especially when capitalism and kind of being your best and physical aesthetics is so emphasized by a religion like the LDS Church does, your physical appearance is one of the few things that you can control and gives you power, basically, in your community. Looking hot basically does improve your material conditions in that world, in that culture. So I can't follow them. I think I was just trying to remember that throughout. So yeah, that was my time in Park City. It was really fun. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to go. -25 Celsius without wind chill, so probably closer to -30. So we did a lot of inside activities. My girlfriend just works from home, but yeah, it was tough to get our dog enough exercise because it was too cold for her to go outside for long periods of time. Poor thing. Even though, we have winter gear for her and everything, but like, it's not good for her little lungs. At least we think. So yeah, it was a very chill week back. But then Valentine's Day came, and a major water main burst a couple blocks away from us, and half the town, or half the suburb or whatever it is considered, was flooded, and instantly the water became contaminated. So none of us could drink the water. We were on a boil order, and then a few hours later, once we'd boiled all the water in the pipes, we found that there was no water left because it had all been shut off to stop the flood. So we had to go to the supermarket and get some water to make sure that we had drinking water and our dog had enough water to drink. People that couldn't do that had the option to go to the local bar who was giving out a ton of free water, so I think everybody was covered, but I think it was quite hard on local businesses because I'm going to pause this and take the mic over. Because it was hard on local businesses because it was Valentine's Day and they couldn't operate without water or without clean water. So I think a lot of local businesses, lost a lot of money. We luckily did find somewhere to go because the neighbouring town, the main street, was just outside of that water. I have no idea, like that area that gets water from that pipe. So my girlfriend and I did manage to go somewhere, which was good. Maybe not our first choice, but it was good to do something, get out of the house on a crazy day like that. A couple days later, the water came back, and we were on a water boil. Notice for a few days, but after 3 days, we had water again. We had clean water again, but it really makes you appreciate, because we saw all the workers out in -30 at night in the snow, in a foot of freezing cold water, trying to fix it, out there for 12 hours at a time. It makes you appreciate them so much. We'd be so fucked without our city workers. They are the backbone of society, truly. And it makes you appreciate everything that goes into making sure that our lives are so comfortable. We have heat, we have water, we have electricity, we have food in our grocery stores and in our fridge. So yeah, that made me very appreciative once we got the water back. So yeah, shout out to all those people, all those city maintenance workers out there in the freezing cold, bringing the water back to the people. You guys are fucking heroes. And if you happen to watch this, leave a comment and I will buy you a drink at the local, because we all depend on you and I appreciate you. I'd say that's probably all that's interesting to you guys. Things have happened